Across the galaxy, a fresh conflict is coming to a head between man and alien, or rather, between factions that once laid claim to those terms, but have since become entities far stranger and more deadly than beings of flesh and blood. The holdings of the Adeptus Mechanicus are of utmost importance to the future of humanity. The priesthood of the Cult Mechanicus Forge maintain and sanctify all of the weapons and war machines used by the Imperium's armies. Without their carefully marshaled knowledge and devastating firepower, the colossal edifice that is mankind's realm would soon fall to its countless enemies. Yet, the Adeptus Mechanicus remain apart from the teeming masses of humanity, inhabiting sovereign planets known as Forge Worlds. These autonomous planets are hives of repetitive industry, choked with pollutants and encrusted with rockcrete and metal. They form an empire within an empire, a sprawling web of adamantine reinforced with dogma and arcane data. The cyborg lords of the Mechanicus do not share their knowledge with the unaltered humans they see as lesser beings, creatures still afflicted with the weakness of flesh and the emotions of the heart, but hoard each screed of data as a miser covets his gold. Similarly, the Adeptus Mechanicus jealously protect the worlds that make up their empire. During the founding times, where the conquerors and lords of the Imperium sought the largest and most strategically vital planets from those that could support life, the tech priests of the machine gods sought worlds with the most bounteous resources, be that mineral wealth or rich substrate, geothermic power, or even rarer and more exotic assets. Unfortunately, they were not the first to recognize the potential of those worlds. One of the arcane materials that the Adeptus Mechanicus sought to make use of is a substance known as Noctilith, more commonly known in its low Gothic form as Blackstone. Its value has remained unknown throughout Imperial history, and only at the close of the 41st millennium is its import becoming clear. Perhaps, if the tech priests of Mars had come to understand its significance earlier, the coming of the Great Rift could have been prevented, and the galaxy kept from plunging further towards utter calamity. Blackstone is mined from a smooth, dark rock, similar to obsidian or onyx in appearance. It registers all manner of peculiarities when surveyed by omnispecs or prognost wave, and has baffled every cryptogeologist and terrestrian that has examined it. The substance is found only on certain mineral-rich planets across the galaxy, though a close correlation has been found between the worlds settled by the Mechanicum, the forefathers of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and the quarry worlds upon which this mineral is present. Some of these worlds have clearly been mined specifically for this substance, or possibly had large monoliths of Blackstone conveyed to their surface and installed there by forgotten agents from before the dawn of recorded history. Cadia was perhaps the most famous of the worlds where Blackstone was found in great measure. Before its fall, the Fortress World's wastelands were dotted with hundreds of pylons that had their lower portions buried below ground and their upper areas jutting upwards towards the skies. The Cadian pylons had strange circular holes and other smooth apertures that led to a complex maze of tunnels within them. The wind of the Cadian moorlands whistled eerily through them, producing strange harmonics that set the hind brain on edge. Whenever the Adeptus Mechanicus sent tiny probe servitors to investigate and chart those tunnels, they would come out glitching, disorientated, if they came out at all. Just as the forces of chaos were preparing to invade the Cadian Gate in greater numbers than ever before, Archmagos Belisarius Call of Mars theorized there was a connection between the presence of these structures and the targets of Abaddon the Despoiler's strikes against the Imperium, the Black Crusades that had scarred history across 10 long millennia. It was his belief that some property of Blackstone, when treated and shaped correctly, reinforced the material universe, bracing it against the energies of chaos. Blackstone structures that could hold back the etheric energy that spilled through wherever an untrained psyker was possessed by a demon, or that poured out in great system-wrecking cataclysms from the warp storms that plagued the heavens. Call's leap of logic was a turning point for the agenda of the Martian tech priests. The discovery was profound. Blackstone structures could prevent empiric manifestations before they even occurred. In other words, hold back the tides of demons that sought to tear through the fabric of reality. Since that day, the Archmagos has obsessively sent his agents across the galaxy to retrieve as many Noctilith structures as possible. First amongst them was Magos Dominius Dentrix Oligostian. His orders were to secure the material using any means necessary, or at least protect it until word could reach the Martian priesthood and it could be harvested by the proper processes. There is, however, another force in the galaxy that seeks to make use of this strange natural resource, working the stone and amplifying its inherent aura to the point it becomes a powerful shield against the vagaries of chaos. The once slumbering Necron tomb worlds, gradually awakening in the latter part of the 41st millennium, are now populated with serried ranks of soldiers as billions of undying warriors are awakened by the canoptech constructs that have long kept vigil over them. The conquests the Necrons are embarking upon are merciless and terrifyingly efficient. In every segmentum, they are scouring the life from their sovereign domain with the dispassion of an extermination servitor burning vermin from a dockyard. No random attacks are these, but carefully planned strikes against the foundations of the Adeptus Mechanicus' galactic empire. At the forefront of this new war are the technomantic cryptects. These arcane geniuses now lead phalanxes of metal warriors and insectile canoptech constructs against the scions of the machine god on 100 mineral-rich worlds. Soon after Magos Oligoxian made his play on the world of Anatep II, the technomandrite Agdahax of the Satu-Tech dynasty rose to stop him. In his eyes, humanity unwittingly seeks the most valuable of resources, and it is high time these mortals learned their place.